What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, as always, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, man, do I got a very special build for y'all today. Now, I present to y'all the best 60 overall lockdown defender build in the NBA 2K24 on next gen. Now, the build is going to come out to a catfish, 2-way inside the arc threat, which is really a lockdown defender that can shoot from the mid-range and three-pointer and also post up. Now, look, something that makes this build really special. Go ahead and check out on the screen now. As you can see, at a 60 overall, without any upgrades, tell me what looks special to y'all. Yes, you can see it. We'll have an 80 perimeter defense without touching anything on this build. A 74 steal, 68 defensive rebound, a 72 speed, the acceleration is okay, a 68 strength, 70 stamina. I'm telling y'all, this is the absolute most toxic build that you can possibly make for a lockdown defender. Now, that's really just the start. When it comes down to the badges, you're going to be able to get off-ball pass on silver, rebound chaser. I'm telling y'all, it does not stop there. We also get open looks. For the defensive end, I'm telling y'all, this is one of the most elite builds that you can make for your team. You also will be able to get glove and interceptor. Take this build into the rec, and I promise y'all, you're going to easily be able to find success with it. Now, I also do have unlimited boosts on this build, but really take into consideration what you can do with this build in the right hands and also making it to your own playstyle and adjustments. So look, before we get any further into this video, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. So to get started, let's put this build under the small forward position. Now, as for when it comes to the height, leave this at 6'7". Moving into the weight, I'm going to go with 233, and then as for that wingspan, I like this best at 7'4". Now, we're all set to move forward into today's build, and I really do think that this is the best catfish lockdown defender as well as inside post scorer. Now, not only that, but we'll be able to shoot from 3, and for a user rating, I definitely give this build an 8 out of 10 because of how special this build can start out with as a 60 overall. So as for when it comes to our speed, I'm going to go all the way up to an 85. Getting into the acceleration, I'm going to go with the 77. Moving into the strength, I'm going to put this all the way up to a 90. The vertical, I'm going to go with a 70. And then as for the stamina, I'm going to put this all the way up to a 99. Now, for this kind of build, you definitely want to be sure that you get the most out of this area because you are a lockdown defender. Now remember, if you want to make any changes or adjustments along the way, you can definitely go ahead and do so. So to get started with the post control, I'm going to go with an 85. And then moving into the driving dunk, for badge purposes and actually dribble and dunk packages, I'm going to go ahead and put this up to a 73. Now for the driving layup, I'm going to go with a 61. As for the close shot, I'm going to put this to a 62. And this is essentially what we'll be looking like for this area. Now the standing dunk, make sure you go with a 50. This will be upgraded down the road regardless. Now the badges that I like are silver unpluckable. You also do get back down punisher on gold, drop stepper with post spin technician, and also hook specialist. Now as for the driving dunk, I do like posterizer, precision dunker, as well as aerial wizard, and then we're also able to get two-step and spin cycle. This build overall, I definitely believe that it's very special in the right hands. Now getting into the actual shooting, go ahead and put that mid-range shot all the way up to an 86. As for the three-pointer, I'm going to leave this at a 60, and then moving into the free throw, I'm going to go with a 71. Now we do get the badge free points. You'll also be able to get others like blinders, catch and shoot with Deadeye, Green Machine, and then Space Creator. I think for this build, For the shooting end, we definitely have the correct badges to be effective from. We also will be able to get guard up in open looks. And then as for the mid-range, just to make this build even better, we'll get Hall of Fame post-fade Phenom, Comeback Kid, Midi Magician. Green Machine is definitely one of the most important ones today. And then as for when it comes to the ball handle, to wrap up the offensive end, go ahead and put the pass accuracy all the way up to a 70. Now I think this number is perfect. It's going to allow you to get badges like Relay Passer and Special Delivery. If you want to go the extra route to get a higher tier of Break Starter, I think Bronze is perfect, but going with a 75 is another option that I can see a lot of people considering. Now as for the ball handle, you definitely want to go ahead and leave this at a 40. Moving into the speed with ball, put this to the same exact rating. And then as for the offense as a whole, this is exactly what the build is going to be looking like today. Now getting into the defensive end, this is the most important area and special factor. So I'm going to go with an interior defense of a 61. Now as we go ahead and get into the perimeter, I'm going to go ahead and put this to a 98. And this right here is going to allow us to get a good amount of badges on Hall of Fame. Now for the steal rating, I'm going to go with a 91. And then as for the block, make sure you go with a 70. Now to wrap everything up, go ahead and put the defensive rebound up to an 83. And then for the offensive, I'm going to go with a 58. Now this is what the build should be looking like maxed out and 99 overall. We'll be able to get a total of 8 Hall of Fame badges, 15 gold, 16 silver with 16 bronze. Now for the defensive end, the badges that I find most interesting are going to be Silver Box Out Beast, Rebound Chaser, and then also we do get Pogo Stick. As for the block, I'm happy with Chase Down Artist. Moving into the steal, we'll get Glove Interceptor and Right Stick Ripper. And then for that perimeter defense, I really do like Clamps on gold. We'll get Hall of Fame 94 feet, Challenger, and then also Workhorse with Off-Ball Pass. On the interior, we'll be able to unlock Workhorse on Hall of Fame as well. I think this build all around is definitely perfect for the offense to the defensive end. Now there's definitely other versions that you can go with, but my favorite thing about it today is definitely going to be this high rating of the strength that we did get. Now if you want to know exactly why I did create this build, I want to be sure to bring everybody a build that you don't have to spend much money on, let alone at all. If you want to, that's completely up to you, but as long as I can bring out a build that anybody can definitely find and make an impact with, I'm going to go ahead and be sure to do so. And I think this is the perfect build for that. So before we get any further, make sure you take into consideration find your own boost, your takeover being activated, the boost that we get from gear, as well as the boost that we get from playing well in each game. That's at least a plus 15 towards any area of this build. Just something for y'all to think about. But let's go ahead and move forward to make sure that everybody made this build correctly. And if you did so, we should be able to get these 3 comparisons. And as y'all can see, we have created none other than the 2-way Inside the Arc threat, which I think definitely is the absolute best Catfish lockdown post scorer that you can make on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. Now with everything being taken into consideration with a maxed out build, I definitely think that all of y'all on your store for one of the best builds that you can possibly make. Thank y'all for the support. More so than anything, I want to say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.